right, so let's very quickly just talk about contra assets really quickly. I've had a couple of students ask me about these. They completely throw them off. And so let's just briefly talk about them. So a contra asset means that it a contra account, not a contra asset. A contra account means that it decreases a specific account, which if it's a contra asset, that means it decreases an asset. If it's a contra liability, that means it decreases a liability. And if it's a contra equity account, it decreases an equity account. All right, so some of the most common types of contra assets, we'll start with contra assets, are going to be your accumulated depreciation. All right, accumulated depreciation decreases your asset, which is going to be some type of building or property, plant, and equipment. All right, because it is a contra asset account, that means that it is not a liability, but it acts as if it's on the right side. If you remember from our debits versus credit video, right side equals the credit side and left side is going to be our debit side. So all of our assets are going to be left side accounts. They're going to be debit side accounts. However, a contra asset account is going to act like it's a liability. So that means that we're going to increase our accounts accumulated depreciation. We're going to increase it with a credit, and we're going to decrease it with a debit. All right, so when you're thinking about contra accounts, you're just thinking opposite. The contra just means basically it's just the opposite. It's a contra asset. All right, so our accumulated depreciation is decreasing our asset, so it's a contra asset. Some other common accounts that we have here are going to be allowance for bad debt. That is going to decrease our accounts receivable account. And then over here on the liability side, we have the bonds discount on the bonds. That's going to be a contra liability account, and a contra equity account is going to be dividends. Dividends decrease equity. So because of that, these two accounts are going to appear to look like an asset account. It's going to appear to look like a left side account. However, they are not an asset. They are not an asset, okay? They are a contra liability and a contra equity account. All right, I think that pretty much, if you can think of it like that, that'll get you where you need to go. If that is still confusing, please feel free to leave me comments and questions, and I'll be happy to answer them. All right, thanks.